Good morning. I am Raju Upadhyay from CIMAGE College, Patna, Department of IT. Today, I am going to talk about what is Applet in Java and what is the life cycle of Applet in Java. So first of all, we will understand what is Applet. Then we will understand what is the life cycle of an Applet. Then practically, we will implement the concept of Applet in a program. So start with Applet definition. An applet is a special type of Java program that is run on web browser or applet viewer. The applet class does provide the standard interface between the applet and browser as well as applet in applet viewer. An applet class does not have their own main method, and it extends from java.applet class, right? So that means whenever we are going to write any applet programming, that our class, it has to be extended from java.applet class. An applet program run under the applet viewer, which we are going to have. So applets are used to make the website more dynamic and very entertaining and attractive. So every applet program which we write, these are the subclasses either directly or indirectly from the java.applet class, right? So applets are not standalone program, right? Instead, they run within either web browser or an applet viewer. So JDK provides the standard applet viewer tool called applet viewer, which we are going to have. So in general, execution of an applet does not begin at main method since the main method is not there in the program. Output of an applet window is not performed by the system.out.println. Rather, it is handled with the various AWT methods such as drawString of graphics class. So we are having a certain advantages of having an applet. So as an advantage, we are having the first advantage is it works at client side, right? So it requires a very less response time. It is very much secured. And finally, it can be executed by browser running under many platforms, including Linux, Windows, Mac OS, as well as under applet viewer. Nowadays, we are not having a concept of applet which is running under the web browser because nowadays all web browsers are of latest. So web browser is not supporting applet at all. And Oracle.com also has removed their applet from their service line, right? So there is one major drawback of an applet. So in earlier also, whenever we used to execute the applet, we require a plugin at the client browser to execute an applet, right? So now we are going to talk about the life cycle of an applet. So it is very important to understand the order in which the various methods shown on the above screen. Clear? So when the applet starts, right, the following methods are getting called. The first method is going to be called as init method. Second is start method, and third is print method. So these three method is going to be called work back by back. That means whenever we are going to run the applet program within applet viewer, automatically applet viewer responsibility is to call first init method, then start, and then print method. So when an applet is getting terminated, then at the time of termination, two important methods are getting executed. That is called stop and destroy. So let us discuss all these five methods one by one. So in order to have a complete applet program, that applet lifecycle should have five methods. The first method is init, and we'll keep on comparing the applet lifecycle method with the thread lifecycle stages, right? The first one is a init method. Init method is used to initialize an applet. It is invoking only once at a time of initialization. So initialized objects are created by the web browser or applet viewer. We can compare this method with a thread class born state, that is new state. Then, so this init is going to be called only once. Then the start method gets called up. So start method is used to start the applet, and it is invoked after the init method invoked, and it is invoked every time whenever browser is loading or refreshing. That means whenever you minimize the browser or you refresh the browser, your start method gets invoked. So when we compare this start method with the thread class, which is the start state of a thread class. Next to that, we are having very important method that is responsible to display anything or everything on the on the applet. That is called stop method. So a stop method is used to stop. Uh, the paint method. So paint method is used to paint anything, any kind of thing on the applet. It can be shapes like square, rectangle, ellipse, clear, or it can help us to write any content, any string on the applet. Obviously, if you are going to write a string, we'll be making use of the draw string method of your graphics class, right? So the graphics class gives painting features in an applet, so we can compare this method with the thread class runnable state, right? Now, whenever we minimize our window, applet window, automatically the stop method gets called up. So stop method is used to stop the applet. It is invoked every time when the browser stops or minimized or abruptly failure of an application. So after stop method calls, we can also start a method whenever we want, right? So this method mainly deals with cleaning up your code. So we can compare this method with the thread class blocked state, right? Then whenever you destroy your applet, whenever you finish your working, or whenever you close the window, applet window, automatically destroy method is getting called up. So destroy method is used to destroy the application once we have done with our applet work, and it is invoked only once. So we remember your init method is going to be called at the beginning and destroy method is called at the end, right? So it is work or it is invoked only once. So once the applet is destroyed, we cannot start the applet again, right? So we can compare this method with the thread class dead state. That means once applet is destroyed, again, we need to start their life cycle. That means we have to start with the init, then the start, then paint, then everything happens, right? So now we are going to learn how we can write a code, how we can implement this concept of this applet using the applet viewer, right? So I'm going to write a program with the help of the notepad editor, and then we will run it as a part of applet viewer. So I'm going to share my another screen. So please be with me. Meanwhile, I request to everyone, please click on like button. And if you are the new viewer to this particular channel, do subscribe this channel. Click on bell icon, right? So whenever I'll upload such kind of great video, automatically a notification will go to you. And if you have any sort of comments, you can write your comments, questions, or any kind of thing inside your comment window. Or so whenever you are going to put any kind of comment in the comment window, automatically I'll see that and I'll revert back to you as soon as possible. I see that. So meanwhile, I'm going to start with my application of Notepad++, where I'll type everything. I hope my Notepad editor is visible to all, right? Here we'll start writing our code. So first of all, I'll be importing all the required classes, right? So here I'll be writing import java.applet class, right? And then we have to import the graphics class, and this graphics class is available in the AWT package. So we need to import it from AWT package. So I'll write java.awt.graphics. AWT dot is missing out here. So these are the two required classes which we're supposed to have. Then we'll be having a class right? So I'll be having a class called public class. Let's say I'm writing a name of the class as Applet life cycle. Since it is a class of Applet life cycle, so I'm giving a user-friendly name that is called, and definitely it has to extend from Applet class, right? So I'll write Applet. Now, my keyboard is having some issues, so that is why I'm not able to, it is not taking all the keystrokes. So let's write here. So as we discussed, first of all, init method will be called. And one more thing, you can have the constructor of a Java class as well. So I'm not using the constructor out here. I'll be making use of init method, public void init. And within a init, I'm going to write some messages. So firstly, I'm going to write a message through which, right, I'm going to write a message which is going to display it on the command line. So here I'm writing system.out.println. And I'll be having a user-friendly message out here. This is init method called. So whenever we'll get this kind of message, we'll understand init has called. Then next to that, what we know, your start will called. So I'll be writing public void start method. Again, the start doesn't have any parameter out here. Here also I can have a user-friendly message like system.out.println. Here I'll be writing a message like we can write applet started, since this is a start method. So user-friendly message applet started. So whenever start method will be called, this message will appear. Then we'll be having a very, very important method that is called paint method. So paint method is responsible for drawing, painting, writing, everything on the applet. So whatever you wanted to get on the applet, everything you have to write in the paint method. But provided paint method should have one important parameter that is called graphics class object, right? So here I'm going to make use of paint method. So I'm going to write here public void, then paint, and within a paint we need to call one parameter called graphics class object, right? So here I'll write graphics and the reference variable, let's say G. And within this, we'll write some method to write something on the applet. Let's say on the applet, I want to draw a message, right? So what I'm going to write here I'll be using that reference that is called G dot draw a string. And as a string, I wanted to write a college name that is called CIMAGE College, Patna. And I wanted to get it drawn on applet at the coordinate where I can write on 10 comma, let's say 50. So this is the X and Y coordinate where this CIMAGE College Patna string will be drawn, right? So only one line method I have written out here. And if you want, you can write something for the, what you can say, for the command prompt. So I can write system.out.println. And here I can say, we can write a user-friendly message called applet just painted its canvas. Right. Now, the three methods which we have written, that is called init, start, and paint. So these three methods are getting called whenever you start the applet. But whenever you minimize, refresh, your stop method is getting called. So let us write a stop method. So here also we can write public void stop. Obviously, stop will have the small s, right? That it will be taken care of. Within this, I will be writing something on the screen. Here I'll write system.out.println, right? And I'll be writing a user-friendly message here like applet stock, right? And then finally, the destroy method. So I'll be writing out here public void destroy. So this is the destroy method which is getting called. We have to write a body of this. Within the destroy, I'm writing a user-friendly message. System.out.println. And here I'll be writing a user-friendly message. Applet destroyed. Right. Now, everything is over. And as I mentioned, we are not going to have any main method as a part of this applet program, right? Now, the very important thing is that whenever you are going to run it as a part of applet viewer, you need to write the applet tag as a part of Java program. But we are writing it as a comment. You can write anywhere. You can write anywhere in the program. But safely, we are going to write just above the class name, or you can write within the class name itself. So we have to write it as a part of program. And in order to write it, we have to make use of the applet tag, the way we used to write in the HTML page. So here, first of all, I'll be having a multi-line comment. So slash asterisk. And then here we'll be having an applet tag in order to call the applet. We'll be writing applet tag. The important attribute is code, and code equal to name of the class. Obviously, whenever we are going to compile this applet lifecycle file, so automatically it is going to create a class called applet lifecycle dot class. So either you can write applet lifecycle only, or you can write as dot class. So let me write as dot class as well. So this is the value for this code attribute. Now you have to specify the dimension of the applet. What could be the size of the applet, right? So the dimension of the applet can be written with the help of width and height attribute. So we'll write width equal to, let's say, 400 pixel, and height equal to, let's say, again 400 pixel. Right. So after that, we have to close it. Right. And once we have closed it, then since this applet tag is always a container tag, so we need to close it by using the slash applet. Right. And now, since the comment line has started, so it is going to end here only. Right. So very simple. We have to write the applet tag, start with the applet tag, followed by attribute called code, and then followed by class name equal, then width equal to width and height equal to height. And this angular bracket need to be closed. And since this is the container tag, as a container tag, later on in the later video, I may discuss the concept of passing parameter. Right. Now we have to save this particular file. So the same analogy which we are following for Java class. So in this way, we are going to save it. So I'm going to save it as file, save or save as. I'm going to save it in the G drive, and definitely my class name. With the help of the class name, I'm going to write a file name that is called applet.lifecycle.java. I'm going to save it. Once it is saved, then you have to compile once. It's very important. After compilation only, we'll get the class file. This is the file which we're supposed to compile. So it got compiled. Now, in order to run it, I have to use Applet Viewer tool. Applet Viewer, we have to write it in small letter, and then we have to write the name of the class. Sorry, name of the Java file, not class. Be careful. So here, the file has to be, extension has to be Java. Because in this Java program, Java file only, we have written that applet tag. So the moment you click on this, see, you can notice out here, your applet got initialized. So it is giving one error called applet lifecycle class is not there. So I have to go back to the program once again because it is giving a runtime. Yes, yes. The one problem is the dot is missing out here. So again, I need to save it. Right. And I need to share my command prompt. Right. So that was things we have to take care of. So I'm going to share my new screen. As a new screen, I'm going to share my command prompt. So you'll be able to see. Now it's visible to you. So again, I need to compile the program. So Java C, then applet lifecycle dot Java. So it is getting compiled. And then finally, we have to run. So in order to run, again, as I mentioned, we have to write a command, applet viewer, applet lifecycle dot Java. Then we have to hit the enter key. And now you can notice out here, your applet viewer got started. And within this applet viewer, only one line statement we have written called CIMAGE College Patna. That is getting printed on the applet. And one more very, very important thing we have to notice on this command prompt. We are getting a message, this is init called. That means we have written this particular statement in an init method. So that is coming out here. Then we have written applet started within a start method, right? So it has called up. Then we are having an applet just painted its canvas. This thing I have written inside the paint method, right? Now let us minimize this applet. The moment you minimize it, just you see your applet got stopped. There was a spelling mistake. One P is missing just because of my keyboard issue. Again, I'm going to maximize it. So applet just painted its canvas. So the moment you minimize, your stop is going to be called. The moment you maximize, your start, your paint method is getting called, right? So now this is the life cycle which is happening. Now I'm going to destroy my applet. The moment I click on cross button, your applet is getting stopped. So first of all, it follows the two steps. First of all, your applet is getting stopped, and then finally, your applet is getting destroyed from the memory. So once it is destroyed, you cannot call it back on the screen again. If you want to call it back again, you need to execute this program. You have to call this particular applet once again, right? So that's all for the day. I hope you must have enjoyed the video. You must have learned the concept of applet, what is applet lifecycle, right? So still, I request everyone, please click on like button. And if you are new to this particular channel, just click on subscribe button as well as click on notify button, right? So thanks all for the day. Happy learning. And I'll be coming with another video in the next session. So meanwhile, keep learning, keep watching. And if you have any sort of doubts, don't forget to write your comment or query or questions in the comment section, right? The moment I'll get it, I'll revert you back with the suitable answer. Bye from now.